Can we have an honest conversation about immigration? We're seeing record highs of both legal and illegal immigration. Almost 1,300 migrants crossed the English Channel in a small boat last Monday, setting for a new record for crossings in a single day, according to the Ministry of Defence. It's the highest daily total since current records began. More than 22,560 people have journeyed across the English Channel so far this year. That's nearly double the number from last year. Let's look at the wider immigration picture, though. The number of student visas and work visas being issued is on the rise, as is the number of asylum applications we've approved. Now, I'm not saying we shouldn't do our bit. I was one of the first to say we should allow Hong Kongers to settle in the UK when the tyrannous Chinese Communist Party made it clear that they would no longer stick to the idea of one country, two systems. These would have been considered Brits until fairly recently, and it's a crime that we left them in the hands of a wicked Chinese regime. In general, I think most people would admit it's fair we help out where we can, but the truth is, we are over capacity. The NHS, our NHS, is apparently on the brink of collapse. Every winter we're told this, and our government seems to agree. We've had our civil liberties taken away from us continuously over the past 2 years in order to protect the NHS from imploding. Yet somehow, they think it can sustain an ever-increasing population. As a former school leader, I can tell you that schools are struggling too. Class sizes are growing, children aren't getting the attention they need or deserve, and schools are having to find new ways of teaching algebra to some kids that sometimes don't even speak a word of English. We have a growing number of immigrants choosing the UK as their destination. I can't blame them. This is one of the greatest countries in the world. Why wouldn't you want to live here? But these things have to be considered in a fair and impartial way. I believe that we should consider just allowing in the people with the skills and talents that we need just to keep this a strong nation. But of course, there's a difference between a refugee, someone fleeing for their life, and an economic migrant. It's time we woke up to that distinction. The stats speak for themselves, really. Most aren't women and children. More often than not, most of these are strong men. And I can understand why we would consider homing women and children, and the elderly and the vulnerable, but perhaps we should encourage these strong men to make a difference in their homeland instead. Maybe we could look at this another way. Birth rates have been on the decline in the UK since the 1960s, and I reckon that's in part due to the sexual revolution. Sex became a commodity, entirely about personal pleasure, no longer primarily about love, procreation, family. I believe that it's down to us Brits forgetting our moral obligation to maintain our culture, to start a family, and to build and maintain communities. We also need to stop being so snobby about technical vocations. If we encouraged our young people to take up vocations, and if, as a society, we considered those vocations as important as academic qualifications, we wouldn't need to import all our skilled workers. In my opinion, we can't sit around moaning that British values are being undermined and that British people are being replaced and that Britain is being changed. Yes, the government needs to cut immigration, but it's up to us to make a difference. Get married, start a family, and encourage our young people to take up a vocation. Many of us are tired of waiting for the government to act. It's time we took back control ourselves. It's on us to shape the future of our great nation.